I'm not entirely sure how to kind of start off this video. It will be a bit of a different topic. Not really topic, it's still Sims, but it's just like the topic around the build is like different. It's not what I would usually really talk about in general. What is it about why does my eye look so? I'm not giving a punch in the face. It's not like my usual sort of stuff. Apologies in advance to any of my sisters who might be watching the video, but I'm just gonna get straight into this one. I don't really know what else to say in the intro, so we're just gonna get into it. So I streamed this particular build on Father's Day, and my idea for this stream really was I just wanted to build. I just wanted to sit and chill and just exist around people. Like, I didn't really want to talk much. It was literally I honestly didn't really speak much at all during this stream in particular. I wanted to build the whole inspiration for this build was that foyer, like that kind of archway with the fences and stuff. I think I'd seen like a picture or like a video with that style of house, like a real video, not like a Sims video, like with that sort of house in it. And I was like, I've wanted to build something like that in Sims for a while. Hadn't got around to it, or whenever I've tried to, it hasn't really worked out. And I'm not gonna lie, I cut out a lot of footage of me trying to figure out the front of the build, the floor plan. That's why the start is a lot jumpier than what the build, what my speed builds usually are. I usually don't cut out a lot, but this was like 50 minutes of footage once I slowed it down. And I'm like, what the hell? So I cut out so much stuff because it was just me sitting, just staring at it, or like drawing a wall, making a room, deleting it again, moving the whole build around, changing all the windows, and I still kept some of that in, but not really. So the premise of this build, I wanted to build in Oasis Springs because I felt like that suited the style of like the porch that I wanted with the archways and stuff like that. And I wanted to build a house that was yellow themed. You see people do these single color challenges and they go a bit mental, and I've done one of those before. I think I've made a video of it where I've gone batshit crazy with like, I mean, I did the Christmas Santa hat build, and that was very much red and white with Christmas. That was like an assault of Christmas. I've done some builds where it's just like straight up orange, like it's just a single color, a solid color, and that's the thing. People do solid color challenges all the time, but I wanted this to be like nice. I didn't want this to be like garishly like everything was yellow. Like if it came in yellow, it had to be yellow. Like, or if it, you know, everything had to be, I don't want that. I wanted it to be yellow, but not too crazy yellow. So this build, I mean, like I said, I built this on Father's Day, and essentially this build was for my dad. If you missed my last video, which to be fair enough, I don't really upload often enough for people to remember that I'm uploading. But if you missed my last video, our dad did pass away at the start of May, and the day that I'm posting this video will be his birthday. So I felt like it was kind of fitting to post that today. I'm gonna not cry. I'm gonna like not get. I'm gonna get emotional, but I'm not gonna like get like. I'm getting fucking teary. Never mind. It would have been his birthday, and actually, as this video is being posted, I'll either just be home or still on the drive back home, depending on what time we end up leaving. Because this weekend, I guess the weekend just passed for you now, will be like his official send off. We've already had like a private kind of funeral with just the family, but he was a very influential man. He was very much like a local, not a celebrity, but he was like a local figure where he was a photographer. He was in so many groups. He founded like 2 different astronomy groups. He was part of the RNLI, volunteered with lifeboats, and just was everywhere. Like everyone, even if they didn't know his name, everyone knew him. And because of that, he wanted like a leaving do, as he called it. He wanted that. So that has already happened by the time this video's come out. And I'm honestly kind of dreading it. I don't need to do anything, but I'm writing a mini eulogy. One of my other sisters is also going to be like saying a few words, and I'm just like, how I know what I want to say, and like I've had it in my head for about a week or 2 now, but I just don't want to write it because I just know I'm going to be a mess, let alone reading it out. But yeah, so this house is for him. And the reason why this is for him, why it's yellow themed, his favorite color was blue. It was kind of like I think it was like kind of a dusty sky blue was his favorite color, but like I mentioned, we had a private funeral with him, and for that, the song Yellow by Coldplay was the song that we picked, because he was an astronomer and he was a photographer, and for Yellow, look at the stars, look how they shine for you. So that's kind of why we picked that song. We thought it was very fitting, and when actually we did a bit more research, it turns out the song was written for, it wasn't Coldplay's dad, but written for someone's dad who passed away that Coldplay knew, or like, I guess a singer Coldplay knew or something. Apparently that's the whole reason that song was written. So it felt very fitting once we realised what the song was about, and just in general the lyrics, we thought it was a fitting, suiting, I'm saying fitting a lot, but it was, there's another word, it was a fitting song for it. So it's annoying because it's a lovely, beautiful song, and I now can no longer listen to it without getting upset, but like, whatever. It's actually so crazy. I'm just so you're aware, I'm not really going to talk about the build. The build is yellow. That's about it. I'll go through a tour at the end to really show you the build, but I'm not really going to like talk about it as I'm going. But yeah, speaking of the song, it's so strange. So I wasn't actually there for this, which I'm so annoyed about, but like, it happens. After the service, we all went for lunch. So my sisters, his sisters, and a close friend, as well as our partners and stuff. We all went for breakfast because it was like a really early morning thing. I don't do early mornings. That man got me out of bed early, okay? Don't appreciate that. But yeah, we went to breakfast at his kind of like go-to favourite cafe. So whenever any of us were visiting him, that's where we always went for lunch or for breakfast or whatever. So we went there for a big breakfast, and after that people kind of parted ways, did their own thing, and my sisters and I went to a pub just to have a drink. It was like 12 o'clock. But I went home because I had been crying at the funeral, and I thought I was doing a good thing, but I wasn't. I basically powdered like my I put on like light makeup, and I powdered my foundation and setting sprayed everything. Like every single step I did was powder, setting spray, because I thought if I cried it wouldn't smudge. It did the opposite. When I cried, I had like proper like streaks going down my face, like my foundation had completely rubbed off everywhere. So I went home just to fix my makeup because everyone said I looked like a cracked porcelain doll, which it was kind of cool. Not what I was going for. So for the weekend, I am getting a skin tint, which is a new elf skin tint. I'm going to try that out, and because it works good for oily skin. But I'm going to be getting that, and I'm not going to powder. I'm going to use healthy amounts of primer, and I'm going to do like a light powder just because I get oily and it's going to be hot. But I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I went home. My husband also got changed, and you know, stuff like that. I also got changed, and by the time we got to the pub, my sisters had said that when they walked in, they ordered their drinks, they sat down, and Yellow played over the jukebox. And my sister said to the bar lady, "Oh my god, like that's such a weird coincidence. Like we just had our dad's funeral, and this is the song that played." She's like, "Oh my god, do you want me to change it?" She's like, "No, like that's it feels like he's here." And there's been a few times I think there was another time. Yeah, me and my sister were driving home and we were talking about our dad, and then that song came on Spotify Smart Shuffle, which to be fair, I've listened to the song a few times on Spotify on my Spotify, but it was like a random, like it just started playing anything it wanted, like any random playlist, and then for that song to come on, and like we both had the feeling that it was going to come on as well, so that was strange. And then my sister, I have five sisters, so it's gonna be confusing, but it's the same sister I'm on about in the car and this one. My sister and my husband and I went urbexing recently. We went to like a ruined estate home thing, not far from where we live, and we were out in the middle of nowhere. This town is literally like it's literally the middle of nowhere, like in the countryside. Like it's a tiny little town. We did our urbexing, we parked up, walked along down a long country road, we took a load of pictures, which was honestly really cool. Did that for about an hour and a half, came back, which is like a half an hour walk back to the car, and as we were approaching the car, again, bear in mind we're in literally the middle of nowhere, like there's a couple of houses and that's basically it. We were literally just approaching the car, we both stopped dead and looked at each other because Yellow was playing in someone's house. And our dad was a photographer. I think I mentioned that. He was an astronomer, photographer. He was fucking everything, this man. He wanted that sister and another sister and my husband to get back into photography because my husband was a photographer. He kind of stopped doing it after COVID happened and things like that, and he's been meaning to get back into it, but he hasn't. And my dad always said that he was a great photographer, and coming from my dad, that was a great compliment because my dad was an amazing photographer. So, and he bought two of my sister's cameras so that they can get into photography because they both mentioned that they were interested in it, and he was going to teach them, but obviously never happened. Which made me cry when I realised that never happened. But yeah, so the fact that we just come back from, or we were just on our way back from going on like a little camera excursion, taking all these different pictures, learning how to use these new cameras, the fact that we just come back from that and heard that song, it honestly just felt like he was proud of us for going, because it was a hard walk, and halfway there, not even like, because it was a really, really hot day. It was a very hot, humid day, and it's Scotland, so it's not really that hot, but it was a really hot, humid day, no breeze, it was just really warm. Halfway towards the walk just to get there, we were like, do you want to turn back? Because I'm roasting, I'm overheating, and I'm suffering. Do you want to turn back? And we're like, no, we carried on going. And I felt like he was really proud of us for sticking through it and just taking pictures and having fun, because it was a really fun time. And yeah, it was so surreal that in the middle of nowhere, that song was playing. Like, out of all the songs, and out of like all the places we could have been, we could have left, you know, the ruin like 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes, or even 2 minutes earlier or 2 minutes sooner, earlier or later, sorry, and we would have missed it. But it was the exact moment that we were there that we heard the song, and we both stopped dead at each other and just stared at each other like, oh my god, that was just. And I believe in signs. I believe in life after death. I believe in all of that stuff. I don't know if he did. I don't think he would have, to be honest. But I believe that there is more than what we can see and perceive. I believe in all of that stuff, and I've experienced stuff, but that's not the point. But I definitely believe in signs. This is a completely different thing, but when I wanted to do a certain hairstyle, I saw, like, in the same week, I saw, like, 4 different instances of that same hairstyle that I wanted, and I was like, well, that's a fucking sign, because I hadn't seen it beforehand. Just, like, things like that. Like, I believe in those sorts of signs, so for that to happen, I very much believe that he was proud of us in that moment, and that made me, like, really emotional, and I was just kind of like, okay. And there's just been a few times where, like, we've been thinking of him, or we've been talking about him, and then that song has played, which is just strange. It's happened 3 times now. Obviously, the first time I wasn't there, which is so annoying, but it's happened 3 times now that I know of, and it just feels so strange. It really does, and it's nice, it's comforting, and that's kind of why I like that I believe in, like, life after death, because it is a bit more comforting, that he's doing okay. That feels, you know, it's a comfort. So, sorry, this has been, like, a bit of a depressing video, but I felt like it was fitting to post this. I'm literally looking at the speed build, and you won't obviously, because this camera will be over, like, my camera, but this stuff is going at, like, this video I think is going at 800% speed, and I'm barely, like, I can see on my camera that I'm not even saying anything. I literally, for that stream, sat and, like, just built in The Sims, and I'd occasionally talk to chat, I would occasionally just talk to myself, I'd sing along to the music that was playing, I would just occasionally kind of do stuff, but for the most part I didn't really say anything, and it was really needed, because Father's Day, after losing your dad, the first Father's Day especially, is awful, and Father's Day is hard for a lot of people, and I unfortunately fortunately I guess, hadn't experienced that until now, and I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to not stream, but then I didn't want to stream, so I was like, well, if I do stream, I'm just not going to say anything then. I'm gonna just be comfortable, just kind of exist and do what I need to do, and my sisters were there watching, and I think they appreciated just having something to vibe with. I think they were playing Palia or something together, or I don't know, and I think that they also just appreciated having company without having company. It's like when people body double, like when people are in the same room and they feel comfortable doing different things but together. That's kind of how I think a lot of us were in that moment. Whether or not you needed it, I still think it was fun. So that stream was quite quiet, and I didn't really apologize for being quiet that stream. Usually I would. If I'm tired or just not in a good mood, I will usually apologize for like not being very vocal in a stream. But this time I was like, I'm not even gonna say sorry, like I'm just being here today. I had someone come in and try to troll me, and I was like, listen mate, today is not the fucking day, go away. And they, to their credit, went away, but I was like, don't do it to me. But yeah, most of my streams aren't like that. I do tend to sit and like chat with stream. Last stream was a very, very chatty stream, and I honestly, I was like, the build shouldn't have taken me that long. I was doing a shell challenge, which by the time you're seeing this will be too late probably. If you use hashtag, if you see this video the day it comes out, you have one day to do the shell. Which is hashtag Simlish. Simlish train shell. So if you have a day to do a shell challenge, go ahead. But yeah, last stream I was starting my shell challenge and like just trying to get through that, and I was like an hour and a half in, and I was almost done with the downstairs, and then I must have yapped for 2 hours, because then next thing I knew, I did one bedroom and a bathroom, which was a tiny bathroom, and I was like, I've been doing nothing for, like, what have I done? And then I ended up not even finishing the build. I still have loads to do for the, well, not loads, but I still have like the entire outside to do and like all the finishing touches and stuff, and I'm like, I was yapping so much that stream. It was such a yappy stream. So if you do want to come by and chill for a couple streams, I do stream The Sims most streams, so I stream kind of 3 times a week. By the time you see this video, I would have been off for a week because I've been in England for, obviously, my dad's leaving do. So I would have been off, but I kind of stream 3 times a week. I occasionally do some Fortnite, but I mostly do The Sims. So it's just kind of whatever happens, whatever we feel like. So yeah, if you want to come by and chill, it is just at SimlishGal at Twitch, or the link is in the description of the video. So thanks to you if you got this far, for first of all, to even hear me give my little sales pitch, because I understand this is not a typical subject, which is what I said at the start of the video. It's not a very regular subject to talk about during a speed build for Sims, but it is my life at the moment. And I've got a couple like whimsy builds coming soon. Well, just the one speed build is whimsy coming. I don't know if I've been able to get that video edited and like voiced over before this one, then you'll have already seen it. But otherwise, this build is done. So let's go into the actual build so I can give you a proper tour, since I haven't spoken about this build at all this whole video apart from the very start. Okay, so we're at the new camera angle. Look at us go. So this is the house. So it's in Oasis Springs, and it's in this lot by Johnny's S1. Like, I quite like this neighborhood actually. It feels quite like cozy. Like, I love the background of it for one, but I just like how there's so many lots so close together, and even like over here, I think those are actual lots, aren't they? No, they're not. I'm talking out my ass. No, maybe they are. These ones might be. I don't know. But I like how there's so many lots so close together. I like this. So I built it here because I wanted it to be like in a similar style, like the stone and like the arches and stuff. Although when you come here, there's not really actually any houses in the style, but they're all different styles, so it's fine. I really do like this build actually. I kind of was, again, very, if you were watching the stream, I'm so sorry. I was very indecisive on how I built this. Like I said, I think when I cut this down originally, just sped up all the footage, I had 56 minutes of a speed build, and I was like, 56 minutes? For this took me 4 hours to build. How is it that long? So the fact I got it cut down to 17 minutes just shows you how much I cut out and sped more things up. It was insane. So let's go into like the start of the thing. So I didn't really do anything here. This is just plain as it is. I thought about doing planter pots and stuff, but it's quite a small area, so I didn't really like clutter it up too much. So you just have a little foyer area here. In here, we've actually got like a little coat storage place. We've got the burglar alarm, which I always forget to put in builds. Burglar alarms and fire alarms. And the sprinkler system. I don't think I've ever used a sprinkler system, sod that. But yeah, I have like a load of shoe storage, a couple coats. They're not really coats, but like they kind of are. And just a little thing there. We have a small little entry table here. And then in here is the kitchen, which I like this kitchen a lot actually. It's very bright, and I actually cluttered it. If you guys have ever seen any of my videos, you know I tend to leave kitchens almost completely uncluttered. I don't even put microwaves half the time. This time I put effort in, and I love the kitchen clutter kit for this. I think this thing's base game. I actually don't know if that is base game or not, but all this clutter over here is from the new kitchen clutter kit, including this. I love this item, this little like dish rack thing. And then I've just got like a kettle and some of these mugs. I didn't realise how cute some of these mug swatches were. I love a good mug. I've got a new mug here. It's a cat. with ears on it. I love this mug. This is quite new, but I have a bit of a mug collection. I do enjoy my mugs. My husband doesn't let me buy any more mugs these days because I have too many mugs. I bought a rack to hold 24 mugs and it is full. I love mugs. I don't think you can understand how much I love mugs, but I do. But he let me buy that mug because I was sad and I needed a new mug. So that was my thing. So yeah, this kitchen's lovely. There is a small detail in here. These posters, if you don't know what Costa Coffee is, it's a UK coffee thing, a bit like Starbucks or like Cafe Nero. More like Cafe Nero, I think. I'm not sure, but it's like a coffee place. And this just reminded me so much of Costa. Even like this, that doesn't say Costa, but in Simlish that is a C-A-I-T-N-A, I think. No, that's not. One of these isn't an A. One could be an N. I'm not sure what that actually says, or that one says, but that's a G, I believe. You'd think someone called Simlish Gal, which by the way, my channel name has changed by now. If you've forgotten who I am, I'm English Gal. I don't know what this actually says, but Costa was my dad's favourite coffee place. If you didn't see him with the Costa in his hand, something was wrong. That's basically it. And everyone said that, oh yeah, I always saw around the town with the Costa. That's what everyone would say. So this reminded me of Costa Coffee, and I had to put it in this build. It's not yellow, but I had to put it in this build. But I do love this though, it's very nice. And I didn't know if you would really have a fireplace in a place like this, but I thought, why not? I guess, like, you know, desert nights do get quite cold, so you might want a fireplace. Over here is just a really big dining table, and I didn't want to put too much in here. You probably would have seen if you were paying attention to the actual build and not just me yapping or just ignoring me in general. I played down like a load of different like bar backs here and like units and cabinetry. I thought it was too much. I thought it was too like close, especially with having the fireplace here, so I just went for like a big old lemon tree and a little kind of unit, just kind of keeping it quite simple. Through here we've got the living room. This is just, again, this feels really cozy. For it being yellow, usually yellow is like bright and sunny and like happy. This feels like actually really warm and cozy. I feel like it's like sunshine, not yellow, but it's like sunshine. It's like nice and cozy. Like, you know, golden hour? That's, maybe it's the orange around it. Maybe in a different lot with green around it, it wouldn't look so golden now, but it does here. I like it. But it's very comfortable looking. Load of seating, nice fancy table. I was kind of going for like modern, but also like some antique furniture. I've also realized that that's away from the wall. Okay, well, that's fine. We also have like a small little desk area over here and another burglar alarm, because if you didn't know, you should put these by each door. If the doors are close to each other, like so if the front door was like here and then the back door was here, I don't think you need to, but if they're kind of far away or in different multiple rooms away, you should put a burglar alarm, so do that. Yeah, little office space, and I absolutely loved this little area. This is from the Cozy Kitch kit, and actually, as someone who has said that they don't like the Cozy Kitch kit, I used the coffee table, the sofa, part of the bookcase unit, the shelving in 2 different places, the dining table, but I used a lot of the Cozy Kitch kit in this build. So for someone that says I hate it, I actually don't hate it. I just didn't think I don't like some of the wood swatches and I don't like some of the styles, but otherwise it's nice. But yeah, all these this is the bookshelf, so this will function fine, and then you have these additional ones which can work normally if you just do like, if you open it instead and drag the book out. A little bit of a fire hazard. I'm gonna say these are fake candles. But yeah, so there's that. We're going to the bathroom next. The bathroom is kind of a bit funky. It's like, it's okay. It's kind of like a modern bathroom, but again, still kind of like older features. I think this is actually a very trendy bathroom. Like, this is a TikTok bathroom. Like, the older kind of style sink and the mirror and like the unit, but it's still very modern, but you have the older style like tile, like the subway tiling. I think this is a very modern bathroom. And also you can still access this bath despite the fact that the sink is right next to it. It still works really fine because you just need, if I put the grid on, with the bath, you just need to be able to access like these 2 halves of the tile. That's all you need to be able to access. So I've built ones before where there's literally a wall across the bath here, and the Sims can still get over it. You can actually do it if you build a half wall the same height of the bath as well. That still works, but that's a bit more tricky to do. So yeah, as long as you have like this half of the bath, same as if you have like this half of the bed, you can still use it in most cases. But pretty simple bathroom. Again, yellow themed, a bit more black and white in this one, but this one feels a bit more modern. We're going to the master bedroom next. Again, very yellow. I love this actually. This painting, I believe, is from Get Famous. And it comes in like a load of different swatches. This is, I think, the default swatch, and you'd never guess that this is behind it. But I found this painting like ages ago, and every now and then I rediscover it, and it's just really nice. But this has a lot of like nice posters behind it. You've got the cuck chair as per usual. I've been loving this mirror recently. This is from the pack has gone out of my mind. Jungle Adventure, I believe. I could just look at it, but I can't be asked. And I've done a few little homages in here to my dad. So I've got the moon and the star, because again, astronomy. And I've got cameras. I've got multiple cameras in here, because again, photographer. So I've got like a load of different little Easter eggs that relate to my dad, but also they are just skill building items. So if you wanted to download this, like, feel free to. Like, it's not any disrespect if you download the house that I made for my dad. You know, I don't think my dad would even like this house. I don't even like yellow, but like that's not the point of the house, of the theme. So, but I love this bedroom actually. It feels very cozy. A little bit of a divider there. I wanted like one of the actual like screen dividers, but none of them really fit the space nicely. So I thought this would do. Just a bit of a partition, kind of close the room off a little bit more, a bit more privacy. And yeah, it's very nice. I like this room. Lastly, we have the kids' bedroom over here. I am really bad at making kids' bedrooms. I know we already have like a kids' room stuff pack, but I want another one. I want like a kids' bedroom kit with more just like maybe a desk, a chair, some like homeworky, cluttery things like kind of loose papers or drawings on them. Like just things like that, because I feel like kids' bedroom stuff is really lacking. But yeah, I've got like an art table, toy box, a bed, a funky mirror, because I do like that mirror, and just, yeah, I don't really like this bedroom. I struggle a lot of kids' bedrooms. Maybe I need to do like a case study of kids' bedrooms where I just like make like 6 different kids' bedrooms, like kids rooms. Maybe I do like a massive house with like a million bedrooms, so I'm forced to try and do kids' bedrooms. I always go through like the kids' room category and I could just never find anything that I like, so I've had my like sub go overlay on the whole time. I thought I hid that. I'm so sorry. I should have hid that too. So yeah, that's the final bedroom. It's kind of crap, but there's room to expand, and if your kid comes home with like school projects and stuff, you can, you know, do that, or you can maybe invite like a friend around for a sleepover, put a sleeping bag down or something. It's kind of crap. I'm sorry about that. Lastly though, we're gonna go out here. We've got like another kind of like porch area with like the arches, and this one I did do some planter boxes. I wanted to do more, but I feel like they just kind of placed weirdly, and I don't want to block the door with them, so I just did like 2 in each corner, or 1 in each corner. Did like the kind of standard plastic furniture. I love this chair. This is great. This is from For Rent, I believe, but I love that chair. The fact that it took so long to get one of these is astounding, because in like every British home we have these chairs. I did a barbecue, a couple more planters that aren't covered, so these ones will work in any season. These ones, actually, they might not, because I've done like a trellis thing, so these might not work in any season, because I don't think they're technically covered. So never mind. But I've got like a little seating area, a couple of lounge chairs, which, by the way, see the light at all times of day. Like the sun's coming up, it's over there, the sun is up, it's there, and the sun's going down, and you can still sit in the sun. So prime tanning location, if you ask me. And then just a swimming pool. I was gonna put some floaties in here, but I felt it would be a bit too much because it's quite a small, awkwardly shaped pool. And then by way of landscaping, there really isn't any. There's like some succulent plants in like that area, and there's a couple down the side and at the front, but like it's Oasis Springs and this area isn't very heavily landscaped anyway. Obviously there's a lot of landscaping in between the lots, and I feel like that would just kind of creep over into this one. I feel like it looks finished without it, so I decided not to do any more landscaping, just a little bit of like a pruned up front garden piece and like a side piece and stuff like that. But yeah, that is the build essentially, so that is all it. Again, it's for my dad. I don't particularly care if people don't like this build, I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's not the point. I built this so I could feel a bit sad and just kind of do something to you know, pay homage to him. And like I said, it's his birthday the day this video is going up, so happy birthday, Dad. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me if you still stuck around. I swear, not all my videos are like this. They're not all kind of doom and gloom, and they're not all depressing and in memoriam of other people. I do tend to have some fun with this channel. I think the most popular, the best video I've ever had was where I built an ant hill, and an ant colony house. I think that's got the most views on my channel, which is just so dumb. But I do things like that, and like I said, either before this video or after this video, there's been like a whimsy build in preparation for the new pack. I'm not sure if I've got that edited or not yet by the time I've done this, but maybe it is, I don't know. So I do actually do some like fun builds or some like kind of just chaotic builds. So if you want to, again, stick around and see them, feel free to subscribe, and you can check out my live streams and kind of enjoy the chaos with me in real time, again at just twitch.tv/simlishgal. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, thank you for chilling with me and just letting me blow off some steam, and I'll see you guys hopefully in my next video. Bye.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and all the things that you do.